Hey, this is Matt Ross coming to you live from the Distillery District. As you can see, I'm right by the Heart here in beautiful Toronto, getting ready to go for a walk through the distillery, have a little bit of a talk. Last time we updated you, I was in the middle of getting my place staged, and now it's staged, and now we're going to get the place posted. It's going to be posted on Tuesday, coming up here. So I'm still checking out different places that I want to stay. So of late, I've been really looking into Lima, Peru. In particular, Barranco, the neighborhood. From what I understand, the neighborhood is full of artists and musicians and poets and painters and you name it. That sounds right up my alley. So Barranco, Lima is probably the first place I'm going to go once I sell my place. The question is going to be, obviously, is when I sell my place. So it goes up September, what day is it, 9th today? So on, I guess, September 11th? Oh boy, 10th? I'm not sure. But really excited to get that place up and running. And looking forward to getting some people through. I haven't seen my dog in a few days, so she'll be making, she made a little bit of a brief debut in one of my previous videos. But I will be doing a little bit more of a full video with her in it. Hopefully she'll be able to walk and talk with me. Her name is Bella Lupita. She's a wonderful gal. And she'll be making lots of appearances in my videos as we move forward. As well as her mom, Paola. Maybe you'll meet her abuela, Ophelia. We have lots of people that take care of her, so it's nice, you know, when you have a dog. Sometimes you have different things you need to do, but she's wonderful, so everybody loves having her around. Yeah, so just doing a nice quick walk through the distillery. Look at that. We can see the big clock coming up here soon. Let me just, there we go. This is the main part of the distillery. Nice and sunny today. Not too hot, not too cold. Look at that. Nice and sunny. Not too busy today in the distillery, not yet anyways. We'll probably see some more people popping in here as the day goes by. Always something happening in the distillery. You know, they've really done a better job with it of late in the last few years, so really happy to see that. Distillery is obviously looking great as usual. It's just such an easy place to walk through when you come to Toronto. It's not huge, but there's a lot of stuff to do. So I always urge you to come through and check out the different spots here at the Distillery District. When you're in Toronto, as I said, Toronto is a beautiful city. There's no question about it. I have lots of good friends here, and you know, I have nothing but good things to say about the city, really, in general. Things are getting a bit pricey, but what can you do there? So today is also for a lot of people, today is really not the beginning, but you know, the first Sunday of NFL football season. You know, I know people watch, a lot of people playing fantasy out there, myself included. So may all your running backs break their legs and all the catches be dropped by your WRs. I'm kidding. Nah, I'm just kidding. But you know, it's that time of year, man, where things get a little warmer, or sorry, a little cooler. And in Canada, you know, it gets a lot colder. One of the things about, you know, Toronto and Canada in particular, that I always kind of find difficult, like even listening to this wind, oh my God, is, you know, the weather gets cold. So one of the perks that I see about going into another country is just having a little bit more consistently warm weather. Because the winters can wear on you a bit. I've been living in Canada for 43 years. And yeah, winters are okay. They're okay for a couple days, but then I get over it and I don't want to do it anymore. So one thing I would really like is to have warmer weather all year round. And I always ask myself, if you have the means to be able to go out and live in a warmer country, I've always wondered to myself, well, why don't I do that? So one of the big, look at this. Look at this. This is a brewery here. It's called Old Flame Brewery. Looks like they got a game of cornhole, as we call it here in Canada. Looks like a fun time. That's a beautiful bar. I drink a lot of beers from here. It's called the Old Flame Brewery. I'm not sure what time it is right now if you can go in, but there's a really great beer called the No Regrets beer, which is a 2.9% super light beer. So if you're ever in the distillery district, grab a few of those to go. Those are great beers if you're drinking if you're over on the beach, or if you just want to have a nice easy day. Old Flame Brewery, No Regrets beer, 2.9%. It's got a good taste and flavor to it. I can't recommend it enough. That's pretty much the beer I drink the most of. Well, that, and I drink a lot of Miller Lights. So I look forward to when I get to, one of the things I love about visiting South America and Central America and visiting other places, even I was in Pittsburgh recently for the NCAA tournament. Me and my friends went, we saw some really cool games, and we were drinking what we called Iron Cities, or Iron City Lights is what we ended up switching to. But I love drinking the local beers wherever I go. As you're gonna see throughout my adventures, I love drinking beer, I love smoking cigarettes, I love eating fried chicken. You know, if I'm in Colombia, I love arepas, or I love aguardiente. So make sure when you come to Toronto, you come check out the beautiful distillery district. I've already said this enough times. You can also pick up, there's a cannabis shop right here. So if you are visiting from another country, it's very easy here to pick up some marijuana, if that's what you want to do. A lot of bikers, a lot of things going on over here. And over here, I'll take maybe a walk through the Canary District. Tons of dogs as well, especially in this area and where I live. You know, everybody's got a dog. So if you like to just people watch and see beautiful dogs and, you know, enjoy yourself, then, you know, Distillery District's really nice. Also, lots of great little spots to have food or eat oysters, or, you know, I always go to Mill Street. It's where I'm known. It's where me and my dog and my friend Paola, we love to spend a lot of time there. People get to know us. So let me take a walk over to the distillery. Reading a really interesting book right now by Michael Mead. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It'll come to me. It's literally sitting on my coffee table, I guess. It's not really my coffee table. It's the coffee table that I got for staging my place. First book I was talking about was The Genius Myth, which is really talking about how every single person is born with a little piece of genius in them. Now, that's not to say everybody is a genius, as we would say before. It means that everybody's got a little piece of genius in them. You're born with a little piece of genius, and pretty much the whole point of your life is to discover what that genius is. That's truly the point of life. And not only just discover what your genius is, you know, it could be anything. Now, at the end of the day, it's not just about that. It's about how do you bring your own personal, unique style to whatever it is your genius, whatever your genius might be. So when you see people that are really, truly themselves, authentically themselves, you'll find that they do something, maybe many things, well, but more importantly, they bring their own personal, unique style to whatever it is that they do. So, and the key there is, you know, you might be inspired by some people and some things, but ultimately, you want to do it your way, and you need to do it without worrying about other people's opinions of you or negative thoughts or whatever the case may be. It could be positive too. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you got to make sure you're doing things for your reasons and doing them your way. And that's the key. And bring your own personal, unique style to it. You know, you'll see somebody like You know, see lots of people that have really expensive, let's say a very expensive, nice, beautiful guitar. And it's like, oh, check out this guitar. It's a $5,000 guitar. It's a, whatever, let's say it's a Dreadnought, Martin, let's say. And at the end of the day, you could have a piece of crap guitar that's not worth $5. It's not the guitar, it's the player. And I think that's what's really important to understand is it's never the tool, it's the person that manipulates the tool that really brings out the magic, brings out the piece, brings out the genius in whatever it is that you do. Whether that be, you know, teaching people or mentoring people, or, you know, maybe you're really specialized at whatever it be. Could be mathematics, could be anything. At the end of the day, it's what you bring to it. And the question is, it's always going to be and forever is, what is your unique piece of genius? What is it that you bring to the world that nobody else truly has? I think it's important to understand when you look at nature, and you look at any nature, trees, animals, flowers, nature only creates originals. The reality is you're an original, and you got to understand that. Nothing's exactly the same. Not one thing is exactly the same. Not one animal is exactly the same. Not one flower, not one tree, not one individual, not one human, not one soul, not one mind, not one heart, is the same. And you are unique, whether you believe it or not. That is the reality. Now, a lot of times we find ourselves getting caught up in trying to mimic other people and mimic other people's lives and try to do things their way. But ultimately, it's not just about what you do, it's about how you do it, and it's about what you personally bring to it. And I think part of when I think about why I'm deciding that I no longer want to be in banking and I no longer want to live that corporate life, it's because I feel I'm being called to do something else and to live a different life. And part of that, and truly to discover and unfold what my true genius, personal genius is. You'd probably say, Matt, well, what is that for you? Well, I would say a few different things. When I talk about genius, I talk about what gives you energy. What do you really enjoy doing? What do you get joy out of? And some of the things I get really great joy out of is meeting new people, connecting with them on an honest level, on an authentic level, learning about new cultures, and being able to spend time in them and really immerse myself in these different worlds that I'm a part of. You know, ever since I've been traveling, one thing I found I love the most is just, you know, eating the new food, but also meeting the people that are creating the food, meeting people in the different spaces that I'm going to. When I was in Bogota recently, we were walking down, we're downtown Bogota, me and Paola, my friend Paola, you'll meet her as well throughout my journeys here. We were walking down a random back street in Bogota, and she spotted some place, and it was like a bar or something. And normally, if I was by myself, there's no way I would have ever went into this place. But she's like, no, look at that, check it out, let's go check it out, let's go have a beer, let's see what it's all about. So we go up there, we go in, there's not a lot of people there. And there's one girl working, a beautiful Colombian girl, I must add. She was curvy and thick and gorgeous. Anyways, and we ordered a couple Club Colombias, and we sat down and had a beer. For me, it was great because you could smoke in the place, so we were smoking cigarettes. And there was a couple of people there playing this game. Later on, I found it was called Bolarana, which is a game where you kind of throw these steel balls and you try to get them into the holes and you get points. So anyway, so we were watching them play. Next thing you know, we're chatting up these two people. We find out that they're cousins. One's got 4 kids, one's got 2 kids. They came to the bar, and all they were going to do is they're going to be at the bar and drink there until the money ran out. That's what they were going to do. They ended up inviting us to play Bolorana with them, and we ended up getting music going, and we're listening to some Peso Pluma, and get to know them, and really got to experience a really wonderful day. We were drinking Club Columbia's, and we were playing. So if we lost the round, we would buy a round. If they lost the round, they'd buy a round. But they said they would not buy Club Columbia beers because they're too expensive, and they were on a budget, and they wanted to drink as much as they possibly could. So they said, we'll buy poker beers. And we said, okay, no problem. Not a big deal. So we switched to poker beers, which is what the Colombians were drinking there. And then, from that day on, basically, we were drinking poker beers because, A, I liked them better, and B, they were a little cheaper, which didn't really matter, but that became kind of the poker beers was one of the beers I was constantly drinking after that. Kind of lesson learned, you know what I mean? Had a great time. It was funny because I ended up getting dancing with the girl, and they were teaching me salsa steps, and really having a great time connecting. My Spanish isn't great, but I can understand quite a bit. Paulo can speak perfect Spanish, so look at this dog park. We're just over here near the Canary. Bella Lupita, my dog, used to come to this park all the time. Our dog, I should say. Look at these beautiful dogs. Nice little dog park. Anyways, so, there's a little guy. Who's that little guy? Nice little walk. And as I always say, every chance you get, if you're going for a walk, do your best to walk by trees, get into nature. Try to get away from it all. Listen to the just the rustling of the wind, and take in all the different colors and smells, and understand that everything, every smell, every color, every tree you see is never going to be the same, because everything's always changing. So enjoy the moment, and appreciate the beauty of nature. Like I said, nature only creates originals. And as a great philosopher said, you can never step in the same river twice, meaning because it's always changing. You can never step into the same world twice is another thing. Every day the world's different. Every second, every minute, every hour, every moment, the world's different. So when you look at the tree swaying like this, beautiful sway to the tree, beautiful sound of the trees. You're only going to see that now. You're never going to see it. It's never ever going to be exactly the same. So it's important to understand that every time you're out and about, and every time you're doing something. I know sometimes it's easy for us to get caught up in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. At the end of the day, the past is gone and dead. There's nothing you can do about it. And the future ain't here. The future's not right now. There's nothing you can do about that. Well, there's nothing you can. The future's gonna be what it's gonna be. But worrying about what's gonna happen in the future isn't gonna help you. Now, it doesn't mean you can't, do things in the current present that might lead to something in the future. But at the end of the day, though, the future's not here yet. So what you really want to work on doing is just enjoying the present. And there's nothing that brings you back into the present like nature. And, helps you forget. Or not even forget. It helps you take in the fact that life is beautiful. And it can be brutal, as nature is. But at the end of the day, this too will pass. So even if you are feeling troubled or desperate, like in my scenario, being, losing my job, might be considered a lot of people will be very worried and concerned. Now I don't have kids to worry about, and I don't have all that kind of stuff to deal with. But ultimately, it's also an opportunity when you say quote unquote bad things happen. It's an opportunity as well to adjust and maybe maybe it's time to make that key change in your life, or go for whatever it is that you're meant to do. Ask yourself this question: whatever you're doing right now, were you meant to do this? Is this your own little piece of genius? Is everything that you're doing today what you're meant to do? Is this your genius? Or is there something else that you think and that you feel deep down that maybe you want to be doing, that you should be doing and pursuing? And what is that? And I always ask, now, how do you figure out what is your own piece of genius? What is the thing that you are meant to do? It's whatever gives you energy, whatever you really find yourself gravitating towards and feeling energized by. This is very important when you're seeking out what your own personal genius is. For me, traveling gives me energy. Music gives me energy. Playing music, listening to music, dancing to music, energy. Writing gives me energy. My little dog, having her with me and watching her exist in this world gives me energy. Just seeing the unbridled exuberance of my dog, Bella Lupita, is incredible. And it's not just my dog, any dogs. You'll find that they're so in the moment. And dogs, we have so much to learn from dogs, babies as well, is they're so in the moment. When a baby's sniffing a flower, its whole being is surrounded by, is really encompassed in it. And they really put their whole selves into what they're doing. And nothing else really matters at that point. And dogs, you can see when see a squirrel, they chase it with their whole might. They go after it, they're barking, and they're trying to catch the squirrel, even though they're never going to, well, not never, but rarely able to catch the squirrel. But you can just see how much joy it's just getting out of just existing in nature. Throwing a ball and having them watching your dog chase after another dog with all of its might and all of its power. It's beautiful. So pay attention to nature and understand that we have a lot to learn from nature. Nature can be beautiful, it can be brutal. But the one thing nature always is honest. And it doesn't judge. As I've said before, a tree doesn't decide who it gives shade to. A flower doesn't decide who gets to smell it or give scent to. It doesn't matter who you are. It just is. Just like a dog for the most part. Look at this walkway here. This is a beautiful little walkway. This is near the Canary District. Ooh, I'm hearing something over here. Just a beautiful, look at this. Just a little slice of heaven in the city. It's a beautiful place. Just listening to the wind blow and watching the reeds. It's funny, the reeds, a lot of people, when we talk about the reeds, and they talk about where original writing came from, it was reeds. It was the reeds that people first used to make paper. Reeds from the edge of the water. It was reeds that was the first thing used to make paper. It was reeds that was the first material used to become pens to write the words down that we were creating and speaking when you go back in time. It was the reeds at the edge of the water that was first converted into paper that we used to write our scrolls on. I think it was called papyrus. Papyrus is, I think, the name that was given to the reeds back in the day. And it was used as paper, it was used to write, it was used as pens, and Also, when you created a scroll, you would put a reed and you'd wrap the scroll around the reed. So when you think about right now we use technology. Everybody's probably typing on computers, typing on your phone, and there's not really that connection to nature. But what we have to understand is words and everything. It all has a connection. It all started with nature, and I think it's important that we understand and remember that. Because without nature, there's none of us here. Nothing that we do. Nothing exists without nature. And everything started in nature. But I just find it funny. I was just reading about that recently, about the reeds and how the reeds were our first paper and our first pen. So, lots of times back in the olden days, I guess you would say, in ancient times, when people would think about where something came from, they would go all the way back to its roots. And you wonder why they call things roots. I go back to my roots. What does that mean? Getting back to your nature. Getting back to discovering who you truly are. Getting back to your genius. Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's a little bunny rabbit. Can I get that? Oh, it's a little bunny rabbit. Can I see you? Hey, you little sweetheart. Oh, look at nature giving me a little beautiful. See, now I saw a little bunny rabbit. Come on, can I see? Can't tell if you guys can see that or not. There's a little bunny rabbit right there. So beautiful. See? The little gifts that nature gives. So like I said, you never know what you're going to discover along the way. And you never know what little gifts it's going to give. But nature always has a way of reminding you of life and beauty. So I always say, if you're ever stressed out, you ever don't know what to do, you're lost, confused, scared, feel alone, go into nature, go for a walk in nature. And I've got this with me, my equipment here, but turn off your phone if you can. And do your best to be in the moment, in nature. Touch a tree, touch a branch, touch the bark. Let me ask you this question here. How many of you, I'm going to challenge everybody out there. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, we never had cell phones, and our phones had one line, so I didn't even have a beep. So back in the day, you had to know where your friends were going to be and just go kind of find them. Let me ask you this question. Let me challenge you to this. Pick one day a week with your friends where you're all going to meet someplace. Decide where you're going to meet. But make a decision not to bring your cell phones with you. And just bring yourself. No cell phone. Bring yourself, bring your money, whatever you need. And make a place that you're going to meet up. And go meet there. And do not bring your cell phone. You guys think this is a possibility? Maybe not once a week, but at least try it. Try picking a day, picking a place, and saying, listen, we're going to go to this place. The only thing, if you want to participate in this event, you're not allowed to bring your cell phone. I challenge you. Let me know in the comments below if you accept the challenge. And if you do accept the challenge, let me know what happens from it. What happens when you're detached from your piece of electronics that kind of almost always takes you out of the present. And let me know how do you find that you connect with your friends? Do you connect better or not? Or do you find yourself full of anxiety because you don't have your cell phone? Who knows? I'm going to leave everybody with this challenge. I'm the Known Wolf, Matt Ross, the Known Wolf. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon is what I've been told. I didn't realize you needed to do that. I'm new to this interwebbing, YouTubing. And I also have an Instagram channel as well, but it's not quite up and running as good, but it's under the Known Wolf 1. That's with the number 1. My name is Matt Ross. Let me know if you accept the no phones challenge and pick a spot. Invite me. I'm happy to come. I'll bring this. Well, I don't know. We got to see. I'm not sure if I'll be allowed to bring this guy with me because that would be kind of going against the rules. But I would love to hear how it went. So let me know if you accept the no phones challenge. Go out, be in the present with your friends, and let me know if there's a difference. All right, my name is Matt Ross. I am the Known Wolf, and you can check me at the Known Wolf on YouTube, or you can jump on my Instagram at the Known Wolf 1. That's with the number 1, and make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can get notifications of my new videos. Take care, and I'll be back again soon.